All right, so for this video, I have here what's already pre-mixed flour for the flour tortillas that we're gonna be making today with these gorditas. So I poured about 2.5 cups of flour into this bowl, and just mix it up really good. Make sure there's no big clumps of dough or flour. Then you're gonna add warm water. Make sure it's not hot water. I made the mistake of using hot water and it was hard to mix because it was so dang hot. So just warm water, clean hands, dig right in, start mixing it up. You know, make sure everything gets mixed into the proper ratio that you want. It's all in the feeling in the hands. So once I get this into a big old ball of dough, maybe need a little bit more water. There you go, just a little more, that's it. And we're just gonna keep mixing until we have, like I said, a ball of dough. Sticks to your fingers. Yeah, here we go. Now we have a ball of dough here. You see the consistency of the mass they call it masa in Spanish. So you want it to stick together. It doesn't stick in your fingers. You can toss it around and it stays in one solid ball of dough. So that means it's ready to roll. We clean up the bowl a little bit and we throw this bad boy on the counter. Slap it. And now we're gonna make sure, just if the first time we weren't sure if it was done, let's go ahead and give it another rumble of rolls on the counter and smack it around a little bit. Make sure you get that right consistency for the tortillas, because it's very important for that. So we're just gonna roll it on the counter. Jesus, man, you almost done there? Jesus Christ. All right, so roll it on there a couple more times just in case, and I think we are ready to roll. Now for this video, this is the star of the video, ribeye steak. Oh yeah, this big boy was 2 inches thick, right about, and it was, I think, a little bit over 2 pounds. So it's a big boy. And now we're gonna pretty much very simple seasonings on this one. We're gonna do Himalayan salt and just pepper, black and white pepper. Let me show you guys how beautiful this bad boy is. Look at that. The marbling in the meat is what really captivates me. Whenever I'm shopping for meat, that's what I look for. The marbling, just like Wagyu. You know, that's what I like to look for. I know it's gonna have a lot more flavor. It's gonna be juicier. So that's why I go for the more marble looking. And now we just put the pepper on also. I didn't do oil on this one because I mean, you don't always have to use oil to, you know, to season your meat. If it sticks pretty well, that's fine with me. It's more than enough. This is a ribeye. It already has enough oil and fat to it, so I don't think it's necessary to add any more oil unless you really feel like you need to and you've been doing it for years, and go right ahead. So you kind of stick the salt and the pepper, you know, with your fingers. That's my technique. Turn it around, same process. Black pepper, make sure you cover every inch of it. I love pepper. Pepper is one of my favorite condiments to use. Put it on everything, even on cereal. I'm just kidding, not cereal, but you get the picture, on almost everything. Just a little bit more salt. I have the level of thickness of the grinding to a 1. It's 1, 2, 3 level, and I have it on 1, so it's more fine. What's coming out of these jars makes it a little bit easier to stick, distributes better than the thick salt. So once I get both sides, I want to get the edges as well, so I kind of pick up what was left on the board with the sides of the steak, just to make sure it's an even distribution. And now it's ready to go on the grill. I hope you guys can hear the sizzle. Oh yeah, that's amazing. I love that sound. Well, We're gonna cover this bad boy up and we'll be back. We'll leave this star rest for a second. Oh, I forgot to put the little tray for to catch the fat. Yeah, there we go. So there it goes. Now back to the dough. Let's make these gorditas. So I'm gonna toss this a few times in my hand again just to make sure it's good. And throw it up in the air a couple times. So roll it. All right. Now we start taking chunks off the ball so we can have our portion set out for the gorditas. We're gonna make about, I think, 4 gorditas out of this much amount of dough. So I'll try to make them out as even as possible so we can have same size gorditas. And you kind of roll it up into like a little, I don't know, like a cookie, pre-baked cookie size shape. So it's like an oval, flat circle. Bam, there you go. Number 2's out. 3, 4. Now we got this. This is called a palote. That's what they call it in Spanish, but it's just a stick, just a roller, to flatten out your tortillas or gorditas by hand. This thing's being used forever. I remember my mom using it when I was a kid, so I have one. I've had it there for a while and I haven't used it. I think this is the first time I use it or second time I use it, so I don't know, it's neat. I like it. There's also a press that you can buy and use, but I like using this one. I think you more hands-on type of thing. Oh, that bad boy's looking good. So once we flatten out the gorditas really good, try to do the best you can to make it into a circle. If you can't, I understand. It takes practice. It's not easy. We'll do the best we can. This one's ready. See how it handles. Yep, it stays together. We'll just throw this bad boy on the side. And oh yeah, look at that fat boy right there. It's coming along very well. I usually eat my meat medium rare. For this one, for the sake of the gorditas, it's not going to be as medium. It's going to be maybe more like a medium well, or almost a well, because of the gorditas. Like a taco meat is the same thing. You don't want it to be dripping, making your tortilla soggy and stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty well cooked. So now that these are ready, we're going to throw these bad boys. We're going to throw them in the comal. So got those ready there, and I got the comal heated up already, so we'll throw these on there, let them cook. We'll do 2 at a time, just to make sure we have control of them. They don't get burned, they don't get too toasted, because we're gonna be opening these up to put the meat in them, so we want them to be soft in the inside. Oh yeah, oh look, you gotta get that golden crust look on the outside. The one on the right already has that, so we're gonna press them down a little bit and switch. We're gonna go ahead and switch spots on these bad boys. See that color? Oh, yeah, we'll move this one because it's hotter on this side, so we'll let them bake there for a few seconds. I'll keep pressing on them with a rag, like just a kitchen rag, so we can get the inside bubbled up and cooked a little bit. And once they're ready, you take them out, put them in a plate, and we just throw these bad boys on the side for now, because we're gonna get started with some salsa. This is a homemade salsa that I'm gonna make. I'm using some serrano peppers, 2 tomatoes, and an onion. I'm not gonna boil the onion, just the tomatoes and the peppers. So I'm gonna take the tails off the peppers now. Let me see, how many do I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 serrano peppers. Usually serrano peppers are hotter than jalapenos, so be careful. They're very spicy. This one was not as spicy. I could smell them. You can just tell when something's gonna be spicy once you've done this long enough. They have little veins on the side, and they just look meaner. Throw them in a little pot, a little bit of water, and we're gonna boil these for about I'll say maybe 5-7 minutes. Not that long. It's very simple. Just fill it up with water, high heat, and there you go. Now we're gonna chop up this onion because we're gonna use, the way I make my salsas is I use the raw onion after everything else has been boiled. I like my onion to be fresh. Oh yeah. Well, that's, once it comes to a boil like that, leave it for about a minute or two and it's done. You don't have to leave it there for that long. Look at this bad boy. We turn that off. We'll get rid of the hot water. Be careful because you will burn yourself if you're not careful. Don't burn yourself. Just kidding. I burn myself. But all right, so we put the tomatoes into the baby bullet blender because my daughter broke my other blender, so now we're using her blender. So she's got to do something around here. So she's paid the price for breaking my blender. I'm using her baby bullet blender to make salsa. Yeah, payback time, huh? I'm just kidding. So we're gonna go ahead and blend this bad boy up. We add a little bit of water just to keep the consistency and the texture of the salsa a little chunky, but not too chunky. Throw the raw onion in there. We need salt, but not that one. We're gonna use whole salt because we need a lot. I don't want to be twisting my wrist that long. So there you go. Plenty of salt. Grab the cover on it. Don't pick it up again and just throw it on there. Oh, the tomato's smiling. It's happy that it's about to get turned into salsa. And we blend this bad boy up. For this, since this is a taco salsa, we want to get that texture of just fully blended, like a smoothie type salsa. We don't want this to be too chunky but not too watery. Look how happy that thing looks to become a salsa. And the final ingredient, cilantro, which is must on almost every salsa that I do. Not all of them, but on this one it's going on there because I don't feel like chopping it up and throwing it on the gorditas later. So the salsa is already gonna have the onion, the cilantro, everything. You don't need to add anything but the salsa, so it makes it really convenient. Look how good this thing looks. Oh my God. That is one beautiful looking green smoothie of salsa. Sounds gross when you say smoothie because you think of drinking it with a straw, but oh yeah, look, that's the texture that we're looking for. It's chunky, but it's not that chunky. And we must try it with the chip. Let's see how it tastes. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so now we bring this bad boy out of the grill because he's ready to become my food. So we're gonna chop it up. Oh no, wait, we gotta wait about 5 minutes. Let it sit, and then we'll chop it up. All right, after 5 minutes, now we start cutting this bad boy up. Like I said, it's not gonna be medium or medium rare. It's gonna be more on the medium well side because, yep, we're gonna use it in a flour, inside a flour tortilla, so I don't want it to get soggy and it's easier to eat. So I do need a new knife, so don't judge me for this knife. You see me sawing through the meat, super soft meat, and I still have to saw through it. It's a horrible knife. I'm gonna get a new one, don't worry. So this thing smells amazing. I mean, just the pepper and the salt is more than enough to give this bad boy such flavor and smell that we're looking for. And we cut it up into strips, and I want you guys to see how beautiful a 2-inch ribeye looks like cooked on an inside grill. We unplug this thing so we don't get the smoke alarms going. Look at that fat on there and that meat on. I just want to take a bite of it, but we'll have to wait. I want it to look pretty. So I'm gonna get my hands cleaned up here. So I'm gonna start chopping up not chopping up, I'm sorry. I'm gonna start opening the gorditas with the smaller knife, maybe a butter knife or something. You stick your knife through it and just kind of get to the edge, but don't go through it, and just kind of open it up very gentle, because it's really easy to puncture the sides, and then it doesn't matter, but it's just like one of those things that, oh my god, I just want it to be whole, complete, nothing, no flavor escaping this bad boy. I want the salsa and the meat to stay all in there, and when I take a bite, I want to just have, you know, all the flavors in one bite. So obviously we have to make this meat bite size for it to fit in the gordita. So I think we're gonna go ahead and cut it up. I think this little cubes are still a little bit too big, but it's fine just for the sake of, look at that, and that's gone. Oh yeah. So we open it up, grab our ribeye, throw some in there. Make sure you get all the way to the bottom. Get as much meat as you can in there so you can enjoy. You know, don't be greedy. Don't be greedy with the meat or the salsa. Make sure you're generous. Give yourself the pleasure of biting into this bad boy with loaded bite of meat. That one's done. Let's grab the other one. Grab the meat. Throw it all in there. Lay it out just like you're putting your babies to sleep, you know, into their blanket, and you're covering them up so they can have a beautiful night's sleep. I'm just kidding, that was weird, but anyways, throw the salsa on this bad boy. Don't be afraid, like I said, it's not that spicy. And now that they're done, put them right next to each other and do the taste testing. Oh yeah, totally recommended. Delicious, delicious. I'm not even kidding. You guys want to see me take bites of this gordita? Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys. This thing was delicious. Try it, make it at home. Remember, any recipe that you see that you like, you can make it all at home. It's very simple. If I can do this, you guys can do this. Obviously I went all out with the ribeye, but enjoy, and remember, this is not Tex-Mex.